entrepreneurship, sustainability, and smart farming. The primary objective of AGROVISION 2.0 has been to strengthen knowledge, enhance practical competencies, and provide exposure to emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, precision agriculture, remote sensing, GIS, climate smart agriculture, agri entrepreneurship, and many other future ready agricultural innovations. Through this platform, participants have gained valuable insights from experts representing academia, research institutions, industry, and international organizations. I'm confident that today's session will be equally insightful, inspiring, and thought provoking. I encourage all participants to actively engage, ask questions, and make the most of this opportunity to interact with our esteemed speakers. With that, let us begin today's proceeding with enthusiasm, curiosity, and a shared commitment towards advancing agriculture through knowledge, innovation, and technology. Once again, welcome to day 14 of AgroVision 2.0, wishing everyone a productive and enriching learning experience ahead. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for this session, Dr. D. Kalaivanan, Senior Scientist in the Division of Natural Resources at ICAR IIHR Bengaluru. Dr. Kalaivanan is a distinguished soil scientist with extensive expertise in soil fertility management, sustainable agriculture, plant nutrition, soilless cultivation, hydroponics, and natural resource management. Since joining ICAR as a scientist in 2010, he has made significant contributions to the development of innovative technologies for horticultural crop production and soil health management. His pioneering work includes the development of Arka Sashya Poshak Ras, a liquid nutrient formulation for soilless vegetable cultivation, and contribution to the development of the Arka vertical garden structure for urban and terrace gardening. An accomplished researcher, Dr. Kalaivanan has authored numerous scientific publications and have received several prestigious recognitions, including the Dhiru Morarji Memorial Award, Soil Scientist Awards, and many others. His work continues to bridge the gap between scientific innovation and practical solutions for sustainable horticulture and resource efficient farming systems. Sir, on behalf of Team Just Agriculture and all the participants of AgroVision 2.0, I extend a very warm welcome to you, and we are truly honored to have you with us today and eagerly look forward to learning from your vast knowledge and valuable experience. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
The slide is visible, madam. Is it moving?
Yes, sir, it is moving, sir.
Yeah. So thank you so much, madam, for the nice introduction and for the invitation as well to the very important training program. And I congratulate the Just Agriculture and its team for making such an event for the mass. So that way you are doing a wonderful job, and I'm just contributing for that. And so thank you once again, madam, for the opportunity. Hope our collaboration will continue in the future as well.
Sure, sir.
Thank you so much. So now the topic of today's lecture is on the cocoponics, and as introduced by my madam on the latest technologies. So this is one of the latest technology, I can say, cocoponics. So you all know very well that what is cocoponics, and I think some of you are aware. Many of you may not aware of these particular aspects. It is purely based on the cocoa peat based soilless cultivation. So here we use cocoa peat as a substrate, so that is why it is called as cocoponics. So in simple definition, it can be called as, or it could be well understood as a method of growing plants in cocoa peat. That's all. So we call this particular technology as the next generation technology, so that even youngsters and entrepreneurs and women, they can take up this technology for large scale cultivation, and even to the closer to the urban and peri-urban areas. So that way, this technology is very, very useful. Already it is gaining importance, and many people are started adapting. So now through this kind of platform, we are popularizing it, so that many people, they will come to know about this, and then they will start adopting this particular technology. And everybody, we think that this particular technology is a kind of new technology. And if you see in the school curricula or even in the college curricula, particularly in botany or in the biology or even in agriculture, so in that this kind of technology has come in the textbook as well. So it is a method of growing plants, soilless culture. You know that what is soilless culture? Soilless culture is a method of growing plants without soil. So during mid 19th century, two German botanists, Sachs and Now, they have discovered the development of soilless cultivation technique, and they have done only for the research purpose, not for commercial angle. They have just started as a research in the laboratory by using the liquid nutrient. So by mixing different essential nutrient salt into water, and then they used that for studying the plants to know about the importance of each and every nutrients, and also to know the crop physiology. So how the plant respond to the presence or absence of a particular essential nutrient. So that way they have used this technology purely for the research purpose, and then they have done a lot of work on research aspects. So now this particular technology is now taken to the commercial cultivation. Even in the past, if you see the history, in 15th century, the Aztec civilization, that particular civilization existed in Northern American continent. And see the people, Aztec people, what they did, they have constructed a floating garden. You see in a lake, this is a lake. In this, they have constructed a floating garden by using mud and their wooden structures, so that the whatever they fill in that on that floating garden, it should not go down. So that way they have done it, and they have constructed a floating garden in a size of half acre to 1 acre. Such a big size they have constructed, and you can see here how nicely they constructed. And even like this, even in rectangular also they have constructed, a square also they have constructed, and then they have grown different vegetable crops, including the fruit crops. Even you see in the border of that garden, they have grown tree crops. In addition to that, they have even grown cereal crops like corn and all. So that way they have grown multiple crops to fulfill their requirement. For that purpose, they have used this technology, and they have survived in the 15th century. And even in the past, during the World War One and Two, mainly in World War Two, the U.S. Army and the UK Royal Air Force, they have used this technology, hydroponics, for cultivating the English cucumber and even to the capsicum and some of the leafy greens for the forces. Those times they have operated nook and corner, particularly in the very remote areas like in the coastal areas or in the hillock areas. So where even getting the water and nutrient, the food is very, very difficult. So in that situation, they have used this technology to grow the crops for their requirement. So that way, why this is very, very important in terms of strategic point of view. So even in India, we have soldiers at very remote areas like in Ladakh and in the northern Himalayan regions. So they like us, they are not getting the fresh vegetables and fruits, so that they can also use this technology to grow the crops, particularly the leafy vegetables and the vegetables. So that then now slowly our Indian Army started adopting this technology in a small scale. So with the help of our another institute, we have CSIR Institute in Ladakh, High Altitude Research Institutes. So there they are involving in this kind of research, and whatever the outcome of that research, they are passing on to the border area, so that our soldiers, our Jawans can use this technology for growing yeah, like microgreens and the leafy greens, even baby greens, etc. So that way, this is very, very important in terms of strategic point of view. And now this is the present day advancement in this particular aspect. You see how the crop is grown under soilless culture in such a big polyhouse in Bangalore. So you see here, this is the tomato, beautiful tomato. That is this in the top is our own Arca hybrid, Arca Rakshak. In the bottom, it is the heirloom tomato. So these two varieties in Bangalore, they're cultivating, and this is the results. You can see visually how beautifully it is grown on in a small grow bag with a size of 12-inch dimension. So with the 4 to 5 kg of cocoa peat, how this is helping to support such a beautiful growth in tomato. And similarly in cucumber, you see the results. So fantastic growth of cucumber with the have some fruit setting. So this is how this technology is now adopted by the commercial growers. So it provides a lot of advantages as well as opportunities for youngsters and for the even the entrepreneurs. For this is a really very much suitable for the urban and peri-urban areas, even in fact in the tourist areas. So and wherever even a resource is constraints like water and nutrients, there also this technology can be adopted and upscaled for the production of exotic vegetables as well as our indigenous vegetables. And with this brief history of soilless cultivation and the adaptation in the modern era, so now we should know why this technology is required. Really, we need this technology at this juncture? So that is very, very important because many of us, we think that the present technology is sufficient to fulfill the requirement of food grains as well as the horticulture produce. But with the problem day by day, with the increase of problem day by day, so we are facing a lot of difficulty in growing crops in soil-based cultivations. And you all very well aware of that, including the problems what our farmers are facing right now. So the major problems right now our cultivators are facing are the soil-based problems, and then water-related problems, and then the land-related problems. So we can group that problems into three major categories. One is soil-related problems, another one is water-related problems, another one is the land-related problems. So in soil-related problems, the major problem is soil-borne pests and diseases. So today you see in any crops, in vegetables, or even in fruits, plenty of pests and diseases. Without spray, very difficult to come out with a crop. So very rarely we can do like that. Otherwise, you can't get your produce without using the pesticides or even fungicides. So that is the level of pest incidents and disease incidents presently in India, not only in India, in the entire world. So then the second problem is soil acidity and salinity, and that is increasing day by day. Salinity is a major concern, particularly in North India and wherever the delta regions or the river belt or the command areas. So and even in coastal areas and in desert areas, there this problem is increasing day by day. And then the poor soil structures leads to poor the soil compaction. So that is affecting the growth of the roots and even development of the plants. So then that is also creating the drainage issues as well as the poor aerations, and then the fertility of the soil. So this is very, very alarming in India. Our soil fertility is deteriorating day by day. And when we got independence, that time the soil organic carbon content was more than 1%, but today it is not even one third of that. So that is the situation of soil fertility in India. So with these problems, how we are going to improve the productivity of the crops in the same land with more and more problems. So those days we have very good land and very fertile land, but the varieties what we have now we did not have that time. But today we have high yielding varieties, but our soil is not capable to support that high yielding varieties because of the problems whatever I listed here. And in addition to the soil related problems, the next problem is water related problems. So this is the year already our monsoon is not so good, and I'm sure that we are going to face a water problem in coming days. And the monsoon is not picking up, and even so far, if you see average, the shortage of rainfall in India, particularly in central and northern India, it is more than 50%, and it is very, very alarming. And if monsoon is not picking up in another, at least in a couple of weeks or in the month of July, and we are going to face a drought in this year. So that is the level of water problems in India what we are facing. And then drought conditions. Of course, last few years we could get very good rainfall with good monsoon, but this year so far no good news with respect to monsoon. And then with this, our farmers, they start using the groundwater. So that way we are losing the groundwater as well. So these are all the water related problems. And then regarding the land related problems, soil erosion, water erosion, wind erosion, and then unrelated land, and then shrinking of arable land. So we are losing the land for different sectors, mainly the infrastructures, real estate, etc. So that way we are losing a lot of our lands to the different sectors, and of course other sectors, they are offering good price for the land than the agriculture sector. So that way people are naturally, they are happy with the price what the industry or the private people they offer to buy their land. They're happy to sell it, and they want to settle with a good house and with a good amount. So that is the level of the sale of land in India. So, so with this pressure, with these soil, land, and water related pressures, how we are going to produce and how we are going to meet out the requirement of our populations, and that too with a lot of climate change related problems. So to all these problems, I'm sure if not completely, partially the soils can substitute to manage many of the problems, and including the land related problems, because this is the one technology, soilless culture, can be even adopted in vertical farming as well. So that way, so even with the reduced land, we can produce more per unit land. That is the opportunity the technology soilless is offering. So that is the reason why we people are looking after soilless culture. And and in this soilless culture, different several techniques are there, but I am restricting to cocoponics only because the topic is cocoponics. And as I said in the beginning, it is a method of growing plants in a cocoa peat based substrates. And why cocoa peat is now taking lead in soilless cultivation? Because it offers several advantages. It provides superior aeration, and it has very good water holding capacity than any other substrate in agriculture. And it is also very much compatible with the fertigation. So that way, it is highly suitable for even precision horticulture. As rightly said by Madam in the beginning, that even for AI driven or IoT driven, even with robotics, all the technologies, advanced technologies, we can definitely merge with this cocoponics, and that way we can even come out with more production per unit area. So that is very much possible with this technology. It can be adopted in precision horticulture and protected cultivations, and even in urban farming systems. So that way now, even the people in urban areas and even those who are not having land, including the landless laborers, they are also adopting in few grow bags in their house or in the balcony or even in the terrace or in the backyard. So wherever they have limited space, in that they are even adopting these kind of technologies. So that way, it is the technology for everyone. So it is not only those who are having land, they can become a farmer, but even those who are not having, but having a house of 1,200 square feet area, so that itself is sufficient to, to practice farming at your level. So that is possible with the help of cocoponics, that is the soilless cultivation. And then what is required to implement cocoponics? That is the next. So now you know what is soilless culture, why soilless culture is required, the history about soilless culture, and then what is cocoponics, why cocoponics is required, and then what is required to practice cocoponics. That is the next question. What are all the inputs are required to start the cocoponics cultivations? So suppose if you want to practice on your terrace, so if so, I'm sure that you have 1,000 square meter, or which is equivalent to 1,000 square feet area on the terrace. So there you can arrange around 200 grow bags. So with the filling of 2 plus ton cocoa beet. So that is the requirement: 200 plus grow bags and 2 tons of cocoa beet, and of course the grow bags, and then the water source, and as well as the nutrient source. So with this, you can start the terrace farming in your terrace. So if you want, you can even have a shade net like this. You see, we have erected shade net on the terrace. So this shade net is very useful to reduce the temperature inside the terrace garden. Particularly, this is very much useful for the area in the coastal regions as well as in the high temperature areas. So that way, the shade net is very much useful. So the budget requirement wise, without shade net, you need 30,000 rupees for buying the grow bags, cocoa peat, and the other inputs. If you want to have a shade net on top of that, then you have to invest additional 1 lakh rupees. So this is the investment required for having a aquaponics based terrace garden on your terrace or rooftop. So with this, suppose if you don't have that much money to start, even you can start with just with the 10 grow bags, and that way later on you can expand slowly. You can buy every year the grow bags and cocoa peat, and you can expand it. So that is possible. But for commercially at a time you can. So this is for 100 square meter. So even for the commercial cultivation, you can estimate the cost requirement based on the budget is given here, excluding the folios. So if you have folios, then inside cost of requirement wise, the same, the grow bag cost and as well as the cocoa peat cost. Then other any, if you want, you can have even the fertigation unit in inside folios. So that is again for a folios of even 1 hectare. So the total cost requirement, including for the folios, it touches nearly 70 to 75 lakhs per hectare area. So that is for folios. But for the normal terrace gardening, this is the investment. And then what is required to have a terrace garden on your terrace? The sunlight is very, very important. Of course, in India, we are very much blessed with a lot of sunlight, and that way, no need to worry about the sunlight. However, in places like in Himalayan regions, as well as in the high elevated areas like in hill stations, so their availability of sunlight is a problem. But even if you have the sunlight hours of 4 to 7, that itself is sufficient to grow different vegetable crops, including the medicinal herbs. So this is the model terrace garden what we have at ICAR Institute of Horticulture Research. So this we have established here to even a daily basis we are getting visitors, the school students, college students, and even the staff from different bank sector, different auditing sectors. So they do come to IHR to see different farming practices as well as terrace gardening. So that way we are using these facilities to create awareness and among all the sections of the society. And the next is the choice of containers or grow bags. So we have to have container for practicing cocoponics, because in the open field, the soil is spread in the entire area. But here we don't have cocoa peat, that much cocoa peat to spread like a land. So that way we have to have a container, so that in that container we can fill the cocoa peat to start the planting and as well as for growing the crops. So that way container is very much required. And different sizes of containers are recommended here for cocoponics. So 12 by 12 inch, you see this is a 12 by 12 inch, 12 by 15 inch, 15 by 15 inch, 18 by 9 inch, 2 by 2 feet. So this 2 by 2 feet is mainly for the fruit crops, and 18 by 9 inch is mainly for the vegetable crops. So 15 by 15 inch is for the turmeric, ginger, and even tomato, other crops. So otherwise, these three sizes are capable of supporting most of the vegetable crops, medicinal plants, even some of the fruit crops like citrus, etc. So that way, these five sizes are very much sufficient to use it in the terrace gardening. However, for the polyos, 12 by 12 inch is alone is sufficient to have commercial cultivation, because 12 by 12 inch generally polyos we go single crop or sometimes 2 to 3 crops like pollock or zucchini or even the color capsicum, gherkin or English cucumber, like that we do it in the commercial polyols. So that way, this is the size I recommend for practicing aquaponics and soilless cultivations. And the third one is the substrates. So that is very, very important. Substrate selection is very much essential to have a successful aquaponics, whether it is in the terrace or in the polyols. So any substrates, when you choose it, it should have good aeration, it should provide physical support to the plants, and it should have a water holding capacity, enough water holding capacity, and then it should also act as a nutrient reservoir. So whenever we give the nutrients through fertigations or through drenching, the substrate, that is a medium used in the soilless culture, should have the capacity to hold that nutrient. So then only the plant can take the nutrients from the substrate. So that way, this is four important functions that the substrate should fulfill for the successful terrace gardening or successful commercial aquaponics. So this is the ideal characteristics of the soil growth medium, and many of you are aware of these things. And generally, any substrate, when we choose it for soilless cultivation, it should be inert in nature. Okay, it should not react with the nutrients whatever we give to the substrates, like in soil. So why in soil, when we apply phosphorus or zinc or other nutrients for that matter, it gets interacted with the nutrients and gets fixed in soil in the form of iron phosphate, aluminum phosphate, and the sodium phosphate, calcium phosphate. Like that, it gets fixed in soil so that the plant could not able to take that fixed nutrients. So that way, that kind of interactions or reactions are not in substrates in soilless, and the pH of the substrate should be neutral in nature, and it should be free from heavy metals and radioactive pollutants. It should be porous in nature so that the whatever water or air it enters inside, it should circulate without any hindrance or so break. So that way, it should be porous in nature. Weight wise, the substrate should be light in weight, and it should not be heavy, so that then the we can take when it is in light, we can take it to the vertical farming as well. And then substrate should be hydrophilic in nature. Whatever substrate we use, that substrate should love the water, should absorb the water, and should hold the water. It should not hate the water. So that kind of substrates we have to select it. And as much as possible, the substrates, whatever we choose, that should be used as in the natural form without much processing. So that is the one required for soilless cultivation. And so other the details are given here in this slide. And this is the list of organic and inorganic substrates. And you can see here the images of some of the inorganic substrates like rock wool, perlite, vermiculite, and humus. See, these are all the substrates used mainly in the past in Western countries. But now the availability of cocoa peat made difficult for these substrates to compete in the market, because cocoa peat is being an organic material and available in India in a plentiful quantities. So that way, the substrates cocoa peat is dominating in Indian market as well as in the global market for soilless cultivation. So because of that, these products are going back and their business is coming down. And so, however, in organic substrates category wise, different substrates are available. So you see, for example, wood residues, sphagnum, peat moss, and sawdust. And then even sometimes we have in wood industries, the bark material, then wooden residues, sawdust. So these materials are not used much in agriculture. So these materials we can easily use it in soilless cultivation, either by mixing with cocoa peat or even in other substrates. So that way, these substrates we can bring, or we can integrate into the soilless cultivation. Not only this, even wherever you are in your place, whatever waste you see that is useful for soilless cultivation, you can bring that into the soilless cultivation. For example, in Gujarat, we have its enormous amount of groundnut shell. Similarly, in northern Himalaya, we have Himalayan wools. In western, so even in the northeastern states, we have a lot of jute waste, so that we can bring into the soilless cultivations. Likewise, we can use all the waste into the soilless cultivations. Only the requirement is we have to see how we can modify that substrate into the ready-to-use media for soilless cultivations. So once if you convert that into the useful media, then you can use it for soilless cultivation. So in the past, you see in the Western countries, they used mainly the hydroponics as well as in the inorganic substrates like rock wool, perlite sand, and even in hydroponic system wise, they followed or they adapted NFT and DFT techniques. So, but now even in the Western countries, if you see in Netherlands or even in Spain or Italy or in US or in, even for that matter in China and in Southeast Asia, they started using cocoa peat for large scale commercial cultivation of vegetables. And so that way it is very much popular there in those countries, and they are getting very good results from this technique. In India also the area is expanding on everyday basis. And so in the last 5 years, you see the growth is enormous in India as well as. So that way, I request all the participants. So whatever purpose you joined in this training in online, so I hope your purpose will definitely partially fulfilled through this lecture. And I'm sure that some of you may come forward to adopt this, or even for you are welcome to IHR to interact more and more with us. So we are very happy to share the knowledge or technology, whatever developed at IHR in the last few years, so that we are transferring to several entrepreneurs. So that way you are welcome to do it in IHR as incubator, or even you can come and see and you can later you can adopt it. And so next is what we did in IAHR, ICAR Indian Institute of Horticulture, what we did. So what we did, we have come out with several technologies for this method of cultivations. The first and foremost or basic method requirement is the media. So the cocoa peat that we have started, first we have standardized that cocoa peat that is called Sarka fermented cocoa peat. It is a ICAR IAHR product, and initially we used this material for nursery, vegetable nursery, and later on, we started using these substrates for soilless cultivations. Now we have done with the different vegetable crops, medicinal plants, and flower crops. So that way, so this substrate is very much useful for a nursery, for soilless cultivation, including for the microgreens. And this is the characteristics of the cocoa peat. And when it is in raw form, this is the characteristics. When it is converted into cocoa peat, this is the characteristics. So what is the difference between these two when it is converted? So the content of phenols and tannins got reduced. You see here the lignin content and the tannin content, phenols content. And the content of nutrients got increased. This is what we want. So that the media should be rich in nutrients so that it can support the crop growth by providing essential nutrients. And so that is the reason why we have converted that raw material into the cocoa peat, and with the help of our microbial consortium, what we have at IHR. So that way, this technology is available for commercial license. So already 8 entrepreneurs or startup, they have taken license of this technology, and they are producing and selling to the growers or even for the nursery entrepreneurs. And if you are interested, you are welcome to take license of Arca fermented cocoa peat at IHR. And next is I will touch upon a little bit of soilless culture types, because many people gets confused with soilless cultures. So many of us, including well-known educated graduates, they do think that soilless culture means only hydroponics, hydroponics. So it is not correct. Hydroponics is a part of soilless culture, and of course now it is a part, not even so adopted by many, only because now the advancement of cocoa-based soilless cultivation again creating competition for hydroponics. So the now people are switching over to cocoa peat-based soilless cultivation from the hydroponics because of the advantages offered by the cocoa peat-based soilless cultivation than the hydroponics. So, however, as a theoretical knowledge point of view, again, two types of soilless culture. One is substrate-based soilless culture. Another one is water culture. So all these technologies are really saving the water as well as the nutrients when compared to soil-based cultivations. In water culture, again, three types: hydroponics, aeroponics, aquaponics. What is hydroponics? In a simple way, you can define that hydroponics is a method of growing plants in a dissolved nutrients, okay, or nutrient solution. So that is the definition of hydroponics. Aeroponics, the same nutrient solution when you spray on the roots of the plant in the form of mist, it is called as aeroponics. So aquaponics, it is the hybrid version of aquaculture and the hydroponics. So here, both fish and plant, we can grow together and in a mutual way. So that way, plant gets nutrients from the fish waste. The fish get purified water from the hydroponics unit. So that way, it is a win-win situation for both plant as well as the fish. So I hope I could be able to clarify you what is hydroponics, what is aeroponics, and what is aquaponics, and what is the difference among all three, and what is the advantages. So that way, here, water culture, we need hydroponics. For that, we need raw water or quality waters. Again, that's what the in water culture, the cost of investment cost is more when compared to the substrate-based soilless cultivation. Then what are the crops we can grow in this method? Of course, right now we are mainly focusing on the vegetables, almost all vegetables, including the starting from the leafy to the legumes to the fruits to the root to the tubers. So all kind of vegetables we can grow in soilless cultivation using the coco peat, and medicinal herbs you can grow, and even some of the fruit crops like strawberry that can be grown under this method, and even commercially. So that is the advantage with this technology. And next is the seeds and planting material. As many people they call as sir, where to get or how to buy seeds and where to get quality seeds and quality planting materials. So that kind of confusion is there, and they don't know where to get it. So for your kind information, you are most welcome to use our IHR online seed portal. That is the Indian Institute of Horticulture Research seed portal. It looks like this. The screenshot is shared here. It looks like this. You can go inside this and then you can select the vegetable varieties. Even you can find out whether that vegetable varieties are suitable for your location or not. So all the details are given in this web. So you can go through it, and even you can order it from your place of residence, so that the material will reach you through India Post or even sometimes through the courier. So that way you are welcome to use this, and even you can avail the facilities of state agriculture universities, horticulture universities, even the KVKs, etc., in your locations. So that way you can avail that facilities for buying good quality and planting material, seeds, etc. And then with these all inputs, whatever I have stored since beginning, the container, that is the grow bags, the media, that is the soilless media, here mainly the coco peat, then the seeds and planting material from the authorized nurseries or from the well-known institutes and from ICAR or state agriculture universities. Then with all, what to do next? So you have with you the grow bags. You take that grow bags and wash it once, and then you see in the bottom of the grow bags whether the holes are there or not. So the holes are required to provide drainage whenever you give excess water or whenever you apply excess nutrients. That time the leaching or the drainage purpose, it is very much useful, the holes. So that way you please ensure that the bottom of the bags should have a holes, and then you next you fill the coco peat on the grow bag and leave it the top 2-3 inch on the top of the grow bags, and then you tap it gently on the grow bags. Then next what you can do it, you can go for sowing the seeds or planting the seedlings. Suppose if you want to grow the crops like amaranthus or pollock or any seed-based vegetables like legumes, you can direct straight away go to the sowing of seeds on the media. And however, the depth of the seed sowing should be based on the size of the seeds, and the depth should be 2.5 times of the size of the seed. You can't grow sow the seeds of amaranthus or even for that matter radish in 2-3 inch depth. Okay, that you have to spread on the surface. On top of that, you again sprinkle some cocoa beet, so that way you can manage the amaranthus or even radish. So for other crops like legumes, you can go a little deeper so that that seeds can germinate it and grow well. And for transplanted seedlings like tomato, chili, brinjal, cabbage, cauliflower, etc., you can go on transplant on the media itself. So here for crops like tomato, chili, brinjal, 1 or 2 seedlings. For cabbage also 1 or 2 seedlings. For legumes, 5 to 6 seedlings or 5 to 6 seeds per bag. Or for leafy vegetables, you can go to 25 to 30 seeds for a grow bag of size of 12 by 12 inch. So this is what we suggest for the growers. And then so you can even think of having staggered sowing or transplanting, because that will be very useful for having or getting harvest at regular intervals, so that you no need to depend on the market for getting the vegetables. Not all, at least whatever you grow on your terrace. So I am sure that with this way, when you practice it, you feel so happy and you will be very much satisfied. And so nothing is very tastier than the fresh one, what we get it from the your own house, or so that gives enormous satisfaction and residue-free produce. And even this kind of method of cultivation, even it educate you about crops, about method of farming, even for the children's. When you practice it, it is very, very useful. So overall, it gives satisfaction to the entire family. So, and hereafter, I will quickly go through the crops what we have cultivated and soilless cultivation culture. So using our own cocoa beet at IHR. So this is the tomato grown in this method, and you see the growth of the tomato plants in soilless cultivations. And this is the tomato grown in open field soilless cultivation. And you see the growth and fruit set. And next crop, what we have tested is the zucchini. In zucchini, 2 varieties of the yellow and green. And it has given very good results in cocoa peat based soilless cultivation. Fantastic growth. You can see here how it has grown, and you see the difference between soil and soilless in vegetative growth. No comparison, such a level of difference we observed. And even yield wise also, we have seen difference between in open and polyos using the soilless method. And open soilless cultivation recorded better yield than the polyo soilless cultivation. And between soil and cocoa peat recorded higher yield than the soil. So in cabbage also we could see better results in the open than in the polyos. And even in chili, we could record a better yield in open soilless cultivation than in the polyos. In brinjal, the results trend are different. Here in polyos, we could get more yield than in the open soilless cultivation. And in leaf vegetables, we get very good results in the open soilless cultivations. And of course, you see the performance of amaranthus in the grow bag filled with cocoa beet. And next is cucumber. We tried it in the open soilless cultivation. We could get very good results with this crop, and by recording 32.5 tons per hectare. And next group of vegetable is the legumes. Legumes are very much suitable for soilless cultivation, particularly whether it is in the open or in the polyos. You see in the polyos, we have grown cotton peas during winter season, and we could get very good results per bag. And next is cowpea. We tried very good result, and then dolichos also performed very well in this method of cultivations. And next is the root crops. We tried with radish, and you can see the difference. You can see the performance. And this is the crop everyone love to grow in soilless, particularly in hydroponics. This is the lettuce is very much required in urban and peri-urban areas. And again the patty pan and the summer squash, the null cole, you can grow it easily in the soilless cultivation. Next is the capsicum. Is the one crop which is required more and more soilless polyos. So that way, this area under capsicum in soilless cultivation is expanding because of a lot of advantages offered by the soilless cultivation. And why it is very much required for capsicum, because the seed cost for capsicum is very high. One seedling of capsicum is more than 15 rupees. So that way, if you lose one plant due to the soil-borne pathogens, then you lose 15 rupees there itself. Even without even harvesting, you are losing money when you lose the plants, particularly in capsicum. So this is the growth of the baby palak in soilless cultivations. You see here how beautifully it is grown and how green it is, and then without any weeds, without any competition, and such a wonderful growth and uniform in growth. So then again, on the top you see the tomato. And next is in hydroponics, we have grown lettuce in horizontal hydroponics, or even vertical NFT, etc. This is the horizontal nutrient film techniques. You see beautifully the lettuce grown in soilless cultivations. And this is the aeroponics. We have grown lettuce in aeroponics method as well. And this is the deep water culture. We have grown a lot of lettuce varieties in deep water culture. Here, water is filled in the tank, and that the crops are grown, including wind is grown in this method of cultivations. So for growing all these crops in soilless cultivation using coco peat or any soilless media, we need to manage nutrient very well. So whoever fails in nutrient management, they fail in soilless cultivations. So the knowledge on nutrient management in soilless is very, very important. And then EC management, that is electrical conductivity, the pH management. So all these pH, EC, and nutrient management, if you are expertise in this, you will be more in demand in commercial cultivations. And so that way your learning on this is very much important for the spread of this technology. Most of the soilless media, it has nutrients, but it is not sufficient to meet out the requirement of the crop growth. So that's why we should not consider the nutrient, whatever it contains, into the fertigation program. So we have to have one ready-made fertigation program on crop basis. So that is the best way to practice soilless cultivation in a commercial scale. So in IHR, what we did, we have come out with commercial formula for each crop, and the formulas are with us. So anybody is interested in growing crops in soilless and polyos, you are most welcome to buy from us or to discuss with us. And or otherwise, suppose if you want to practice in the terrace or in the kitchen garden, you are recommended or you are advised to use coco peat mixed with farmyard manure or compost or vermicompost or city compost at the rate of 1:1:1 ratio. So this combination which will take care of the most of the mineral requirement of the plants. So in addition to this, so every month you can apply 100 gram of vermicompost on each grow bag. So that at monthly intervals. So that way that will take care of the nutrient requirement of the soilless cultivation crops. So this is the NPK level we standardized in our experiment for different crops. So you see some of the crops requires more NPK, some requires less, particularly the leafy vegetables. So in between some legumes or there, they require moderate level of NPKs. So with our extensive research on soilless cultivation, mainly on coco peat, we have come out with ready-made nutrient formulations in a form of product for the urban and peri-urban gardeners or practitioners. So this is called as Sarkasasya Posakras, a liquid nutrient formulations for soilless vegetable cultivation in the country. And first of its kind in the entire ICAR system and in the entire country. So that way we have come out with the two bottle for this A and B, so which contains both macro and micronutrients. So this is more than sufficient for commonly grown vegetables on the terrace, balcony, or the rooftop. So this particular technology is certified by Indian Council of Agricultural Research during 2023, and then we have license to several companies, and so that details will be shared with you, and how to use these liquid nutrient formulations. That is important. So of course, we have given in the bottle itself the details how to dilute it, how much to be applied for each crop, and how frequently it has to be applied, from when we have to start the fertigations using these two bottles. All the details we used to give in the bottle itself. So for for you, this is the uh, dilution. So for crops like chili, tomatoes, cabbage, cucumber, etc., we have to dilute 5 ml per liter for A, for B. So I mean, if you buy two bottles of A and B, that you can mix with 200 liters of water. Okay, so from that you can give 200 ml per grow bags. Grow bags. So similarly for the legumes, 4 ml of part A, 4 ml of part B. For leaf vegetables, 3.5 ml of part A and 3.5 ml of part B. So why these kind of variations? Because I have shown you the previous slide, the uptake of nutrients by different crops are different. So that is the reason instead of using uniform recommendation, better to use based on the crop what you have select and you grow. So for the reason only, these kind of different recommendations we advise. And these many companies or government bodies taken license of these products. And you can see here totally so far 9 companies sort of they have taken license of that. And now we have received one more request from another companies. Shortly they are going to take license of this technology. So that way the availability of this technology is not a problem. Everywhere it is available. And this is the license details. Even you can buy from online also. One entrepreneurs who has taken license from us started exclusive website for this product, that is Arca SPR. So one can buy through online also. Even in Amazon it is available. You check it out. Some of the companies they are selling in Amazon as well. So that way the product is available everywhere. For commercial cultivation, again we have formula for that as well. So this is the formula for tomato. We have worked out, and we how to dilute, how much to be applied, how many frequency, all the details have been worked out, and we are ready to share the information for the required people. And then when to water. Suppose in terrace gardening, we need to water on daily basis, but in commercial cultivation, there is no need of watering separately. Whenever we give nutrients, along with water is also going. So that way, then commercial cultivation fertigation is followed. So, but in terrace, we can give water in summer twice a day, morning once and evening once. For rainy days, based on the rainfall quantity, if it is 2.5 mm per day, then no need of giving water. So otherwise, if it is less than, you can give water. So for winter, once in a day. So that is the level of water management. And then pest and disease, of course, like soil-based cultivation, we have to manage. However, many of the soil-borne pest and diseases we can avoid when we have soil-based, soilless cultivations. So whenever you see in the terrace plants, when you see pest and disease, better you pick it and kill that, even whether it is in larvae stage or in the egg stage. And it is advised to keep the garden or field clean of weeds, dry and rotten plant debris. If any pest is noticed, spray neem oil at the rate of 2 ml per liter or neem soup at the rate of 7 to 10 gram per liter for effective management of the pest. If any disease is noticed, spray biocontrol agents, any herbal-based formulations or botanicals or biofungicides once in 15 days intervals. So this is how we can manage pest and diseases, because most of the disease we avoid since we are not using soil here. And staking we have to provide. Weeding is not required, because based on my experience, I have not seen any weed growth on the cocoa beet. So that way weeding operation can be completely stopped. Harvesting, of course, like in soil, you have to do it. And then repotting, it is not required for soilless cultivations. In the same pot, if you use soil, you need to do repotting crop after crop. Otherwise, your crop performance won't be good. So cost also we worked out how much gain we can get it by growing different crops. So among the crops, the zucchini found to be more economical, followed by cabbage, followed by tomato, chili, corianders, cucumbers. So like that. So all the crops found to be more economical, and that way it is not like any negative economics. So this is the garden we established in our institute. So we invite all the people from across the societies, and here is the students from college in Bangalore, and ex-minister he visited and interacted with us, and through state government of Karnataka, we promote this technology to the largest section of the society. And in fact, we have commercialized this technology to Kerala. Government of Kerala has taken license of this technology both Arca vertical garden as well as the nutrient solution Arca Sasiposacras. So, with the support of two ministers, this technology launched in the state of Kerala during 2022. So, India technology developed by ICAR. So, in the last couple of slides, so we can see what is advantage with this method. What are all the disadvantages when we adopt these methods? Okay, so for your information, advantages are more than the disadvantage. So this particular method of cultivation so gives fresh, clean, tasty, and healthy produce. All of you agree with me, no doubt on that. And each produce are only less soil-borne diseases compared to soil-based cultivations. It is possible to grow safely in this method of cultivation. It requires minimum interval between two crop cycle. It requires low labor and low cost in or investment. So it produces healthy environment on the terrace. So when you have beautiful garden on your terrace, you can use as a mini park. So from your mini park or your terrace garden, you can get fresh, clean air. That makes you enjoy more with nature. And you can spend your joyful time in terrace garden. So it refreshes your mind and make you feel relaxed. And your hands are not prone to any dirty or any that material. So it reduces the temperature of your house and makes cooler at least up to 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. It reduces the heat absorption from the terrace. It acts as insulator for the whole building. It is very much required for India because we have most of the time hot climate. And coming to the disadvantages side of the hydroponics, initial cost requirement is high, slightly higher. You should know technical know-how, what is required, what kind of management is required, what kind of pest will come, disease will come, nutrient problem will come. So that kind of technical know-how is required. You should know thorough knowledge on the crop agronomy and crop physiology. So that is it is not that so easy. Everybody can start, but you should learn about crop knowledge on agronomy and crop physiologies. So one requires the requirement quality water. Of course, in substrate-based soil culture, quality is if even if your water is having 7 to 7.5 pH and having up to 1 or slightly even higher also, you can use it in soil-based cultivations compared to the hydroponics. In hydroponics, we need RO water, so that way requirement of quality water is very much important. So in this, it requires investment. So finally, with this presentation, I conclude my presentations. So when you practice soilless cultivation, particularly in cocoa beet based soilless cultivation, either in terrace or balcony or even in the portico areas or in the backyard or in the front side of your house, when you grow green, healthy plants, it gives a remedy to fight against the daily exhaustive routine life. And it makes you enjoy the stress-free life with ease. So that way, I'm sure that whoever is practicing, I am sure that some of participants may already practice. So you feel that difference. Those who are not practicing so far, you start practicing and you see the difference not only on the availability of the vegetables, but on your own health, stress-free life. It gives and it makes a family a very happy family and with the health. So with this, I conclude my presentation. So thank you so much and for the opportunity given to me to share my knowledge on these aspects to the participants, whoever participated from different parts of the country. So please start today. So itself. So investment on your terrace garden is investment on your health and your so that much I can say at the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for such an insightful and enriching session. Your valuable expertise in soil science, cocophonics, sustainable nutrient management, and innovative agriculture technologies have provided our participants with, I guess, practical knowledge and fresh perspectives of future agricultural development. So, sir, on behalf of Team Just Agriculture and my AgroVision 2.0 family, I sincerely express our heartfelt gratitude for your time, guidance, and inspiring interaction. We wish you continued success in your research and professional endeavors, sir. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you so much, madam. This part I completed my research. Now I'm
you.
involved in these as well, but now I am moving on to some of the bio-enriched organic manure, and even I am now moving on to precision farming, and that way. So this is the area I completed, and I am still with the automation, all the things I am integrating it. So that way, so I hope
Moving
I
towards smart agriculture,
testified,
sir.
and that is I always I try my best to reach to the participants with the knowledge
Hmm.
whatever I gained, so that it is not that simply a namesake I give lectures. I give
Hmm.
always at least through out of 106 participants, 108. I'm sure that 20-25% people will able
Yes, sir.
to start this particular method of cultivation.
Yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir, once again.
Yeah, thank you so much, madam. Any queries or anything is there?
Yes,
Or
sir. Two
yeah,
questions are there, sir. I'll just do one thing. I'll dictate it.
yeah.
Vermicompost or coco peat, which is better nutritionally, and can they be used in place of each other or alternatively?
Yeah, this is really an excellent question, and both are different.
Hmm.
So vermicompost is a manure,
Yes, sir.
cocopeat is a substrates. Okay,
Hmm.
substrate usually contains less nutrients when compared to the manure. That's why vermicompost is coming under manure category. So it cannot be used alternatively, but it can be mixed and used. Okay, at the rate of 1:1, volume by volume ratio. You can mix it and use it, and it gives even better results than when you use it pure cocoa peat without nutrient applications. So, but pure cocoa peat with the whatever the nutrient solution technologies
Well
like
decomposed.
that when you use it, it gives excellent results. Otherwise, if you don't, you just mix with vermicompost and use it. It gives better than cocoa peat results. Yeah. Next question, madam.
Yes, sir. Next question is, in this nutrients can be used in organic farming, and there is any chance of getting residues in soil?
Yeah, actually it is a liquid nutrients,
Hmm.
and here no residues are there. You can see it is purely dissolved in water, and no leftover like a salt or anything is there, and it can be used. However, I'm again clarifying you all. So soilless cultivation itself is not completely organic farming. Okay, so that is very very important for all of you. When you grow in soil with organic technologies, that only is called as complete organic farming. Otherwise, it is when you grow even with organic inputs in soilless cultivation, it
Hmm.
cannot be called as complete organic farming, because with the soil only organic farming is defined. So that way, this methodology can be called as a safe production methodology instead of calling it organic. But
Hmm.
however, in countries like US and even they call this as a complete organic farming when compared to European standards are different, but US standard is different. So it depends on again country to country. Of course, we don't have any standards so far for this method of cultivation, whether it comes under organic or inorganic. But otherwise, as a soil scientist, as I feel always when we do agriculture in soil, then only we can fulfill the term organic farming completely. So otherwise, it is a safe way of production of crops. And but of course, even now you see the vegetable produced in our soil with use of chemicals and fertilizers and pesticides. So when you compare with that, when you grow the vegetables in hydroponics or aquaponics, it is more residue free than the soil based vegetable cultivated. So that way, even in some of the online platform, you see
Hmm.
in Big Basket and even in Blinkit, etc. So even they have separate shopping area for hydroponically produced vegetables. So that fetches more prices than the soil-based vegetables. So that way, it is now very clear that even as a scientist, as a grower, and even as I see the usage of chemicals and pesticides are very less in soilless cultivation when compared to soil-based cultivations. So that way, it is residue-wise, it is completely free, and it can be used. Next question, madam.
Sir, if we talk about nutrition quality, then is there any difference in the like vegetables or fruits that are grown naturally in the soil and differ to the one that are grown in hydroponics or that cocoa pit
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yes, we have estimated for all the vegetables, madam. Content-wise, it is higher than the soil-based cultivation. Because we give here nutrients directly to the root zone, and as I said in the beginning, cocoa peat does not interact with the nutrients. So it is inert material. It will not interact with the nutrients when compared to the soil. Whenever we give nutrients in soil, soil gets fixed with the nutrients. Because generally, so that way the nutrients whatever we supply to soil may not be available to the plant fully. But in cocoa beet, when we give at regular intervals, the plant takes the nutrients as and when required based on their growth and stage of growth. And another advantage here is the weeds are not there in the cocoa beet. So that way there won't be any competition between weeds and plants. So that way, and moreover, the plant spend less energy in taking nutrients compared to the soil. So there the plant spend a lot of energy to draw the nutrients from different depth as well as different lateral distances. But here, roots, the nutrients are very much readily available closer to the roots of the plant. So that way, availability, uptake, and the luxurious growth. So everything is better here in this method of cultivation than in the soil-based cultivation. So that doesn't mean that all soil-based cultivations are not, but majority, because in our soil in India or even in the world for that matter, so soil is getting deteriorated day by day. And for that reason, otherwise, if you have a soil with 1.5% and above organic carbon, and then if you grow it, that is different. But now
Yes,
in
sir.
India, we have soil with only 0.3% organic carbon. Here also with the application of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, only you can take a good crop. So when you compare that situation and this situation, and really more advisable to follow and to even consume the produce grown in this method of cultivation.
Okay. So, sir, we are also having time constraints, so we have
Okay,
to end the
please.
session right now.
No problem at all. No problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, you share my number to the participants. So any doubts if they have, they are welcome to ask.
Yes,
And
yes,
even
sir. At the end, now we will provide the numbers you have to share with them, sir.
yeah, I am happy to see many of our KVK colleagues in ICAR system, and even many of the doctors and others. So that way, I did my job today. At least today, I contributed to the society for the nation. So that with that happiness, I complete my talk as well as my lecture. Thank you so much, madam.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
I guess our next guest has also joined us. Dr. Vijay Kumar, sir, am I audible to you, sir? Dr. Vijay Kumar, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it
Sorry for the delay, sir.
no issue? No issue. Is it audible,
Sir,
ma'am?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, I'll just start with your introduction and then you can move forward with your session in
Sure,
this.
sure.
Okay.
Shall I start?
Sir, I'm just introducing you to the
Okay,
participants and then you can start, sir.
okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
sir. Now it gives me immense pleasure to introduce our next distinguished speaker, Dr. Vijay Kumar N., who is currently serving as Assistant Professor of Economics in the School of Applied Sciences and Humanities at VFSTR, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Vijay Kumar is an accomplished academician and researcher in the field of agricultural economics with extensive experience in agricultural development, agribusiness management, livestock economics, rural development, sustainable agriculture, and agricultural policies. He has authored numerous research papers in reputed national and international journals and has presented lead papers at several conferences on topics that are related to agricultural economics, sustainability, climate change, and rural livelihoods. In addition to his academic contribution, Sir has actively worked with farmers, livestock producers, extension professionals, and rural communities through various trainings, capacity building, and outreach programs. His dedication towards bridging economic research with practical agricultural development has benefited a wide range of stakeholders in the farming sector. Sir, on behalf of Team Just Agriculture and all the participants of AgroVision 2.0, I extend a very warm welcome to you. And we are truly honored to have you with us today and eagerly look forward to your valuable insights and expert guidance. Over to you, sir.
Yes. So, shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Madam, is it visible?
No, sir, it is not visible right now.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Now, ma'am? Is it visible,
No,
ma'am?
sir, now also it is not visible, sir.
2 minutes.
Sir, do you
Now, ma'am?
No, sir, the slide is not visible, sir. Sir, just to share screen. No problem, sir. You can take your time, sir.
Push. Into only. Hmm. It's not coming. Yeah. 2 minutes, ma'am. Oh, is it visible, ma'am? Ma'am, hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, I will start with, okay?
Yes, sir. You can start.
Very good evening to all. So first of all, I would like to say thank you. Myself, Dr. Vijay Kumar, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Social Science at Vigyan Foundation for Science and Technology and Research, Guntur. So first of all, I would like to say thank you very much and for organizing a wonderful capacity building program to Just Agriculture team, and my special thanks to Shivani madam and Neha Bhatt madam. So let's start with the topic. Is I would like to discuss about the topic is technological interventions in sustainable agriculture, economic challenges, and policy perspective. So if you talk about the present topic, it's very interesting to discuss because these how technological interventions are playing an important role to achieve sustainability. You may arise on questions in your mind. No doubt, in one side, in the Indian context, we are having self-sufficient agriculture production. But if you talk in terms of sustainability, per capita consumption, per capita availability food, somewhere we are lagging behind. Because in the Indian context, agriculture still uncertainty risk. To overcome that problem, there is an option behind technological intervention for long-term sustainability. Okay, this is very important to know that because As we all know that agriculture remains the backbone of rural livelihood to ensure food security, particularly especially in developing countries like India. So with an increasing population pressure, especially climate change, resource depletion, and marketing uncertainties, apart from that, we are still in the Indian condition. Majority of the farmers are practicing traditional farming practices alone are insufficient to meet the future needs of the requirement. That's why sustainability right now is very important. So in that perspective, these technological interventions are playing an important role to achieve sustainability. Especially you can talk about artificial intelligence, drones, precision farming, biotechnology, digital platforms are transforming agriculture to into more productive, efficient, and also sustainable sector. So one thing I would like to examine that the role of technologies and the economic challenges associated with their adoption and the policy measures needed that it ensures inclusive as well as sustainable agriculture development. So that's why in the present perspective, technological interventions are very important to achieve sustainable development. Now, as we all know that agriculture contributes significantly in the Indian perspective to ensure food security, employment generation also, apart from that, rural development also. So the latest data where, according to FAO state that the global population is expected to reach about 9.7 billion by 2050. So here we can analyze that increasing food demand by nearly a 50 to 60%. At the same time, agriculture faces lot many challenges, especially climate change, declining land productivity, water scarcity, and rising production cost also nowadays high. Okay, so to overcome that certain challenges, we can see that sustainable agriculture aims to meet the current food requirements without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs. Therefore, it is very essential to adopt modern technologies. Sustainable farming practices are essential to enhance productivity and improve resource use efficiency and ensure environmental sustainable with the supportive farmers income. So this is very important in the present perspective. Now move ahead with to achieve sustainability in the agriculture sector, especially Indian condition. There are many challenges we can see that. Okay, starting from land preparation to till harvesting, so many agriculture operations we can see that in that farmers are facing lot many hurdles. So to overcome those, these technological interventions makes useful their getting productivity in agriculture. Here we can see that technological innovations are reshaping the modern agriculture by enabling data driven decision making and also efficient resource management. Precision agriculture uses sensors, satellite energies, even to monitor crop health and optimize the application of water, fertilizers, pesticides, etc. options. So here we can see that remote sensing and GIS technology help across the crop conditions, even predict the yields, identify the stress areas. And you can take about biotechnology contributes through development of improved crop varieties that are resistant to pests and diseases, climatic stress. So these technology not only improve the productivity but also reduce the environmental degradation and input cost. So in a nutshell, we can see that in the Indian perspective, especially climate change, soil degradation, water scarcity, and rising the agriculture input cost. Apart from that, so majority, near about 70 to 80% of the farmers comes under small and marginal farmers. That too we are having the problem with the small and land fragmented land holding problems. Okay, so even we have the problem with the market volatility and price instability. Okay, and apart from that we have market problems. So these are the challenges we're facing by the Indian agriculture. To overcome that, sustainability in one way it is a pathway to overcome these problems. Okay, so this is the challenges we are faced by the Indian agriculture. Now coming to the technology with the future agriculture, how these technological intervention will make better use of technology to get more agriculture productivity. Here we can see that technology and future agriculture makes smart, sustainable to get efficient agriculture productivity. Here we can see that the future agriculture is increasing driven with by smart and digital technologies. You might see that artificial intelligence helps the farmers forecasting the weather conditions. You can detect the crop diseases, estimate yields also, and predict the market price also. Especially nowadays, we used to go with the you know market based crops so that farmers can better income from their crops. So this is one thing. Apart from that, another technology of drones are widely used for crop surveillance, pesticide spraying and nutrient management. So it reduces the labor cost and improves the efficiency. So this is how the smart technology makes difference, because we know that everywhere we are facing the problem with the labor shortage, right? So to overcome this, these are the technologies makes best use of productivity. So even robotics and automation are addressing the labor shortage through automated planting, harvesting, weed management also. Okay, so advancement of application in agriculture, we are sure that we'll get good productivity. So apart from that, we have blockchain technology. So this is nothing but it enhances the transparency and traceability in agriculture supply chains. So everyone knows that. So we have the problem of lack of storage facility and also market problem. We are not proper market storage structures, and we are lagging behind with the market chain. So we are the problems having with the middlemen, commission agents, so and so. No doubt government has made so many things, schemes, beneficial, things they have made. Even though despite of all these, still farmers are facing. Okay. So in that context, these blockchains also makes best use of this productivity and smart irrigation system. So here we can see that use of sensors and automated controls to minimize water source. Okay, so that is one thing. So at the end, these innovation supports climate smart agriculture and improve the resilience of farming system against environmental uncertainties. Okay, so if you cross these challenges, especially climate change, market related problem, so obviously farmers can better income from their product, agriculture. So this is the one we should aware to the farmer to get application of advancement in agriculture sector. No doubt, self sufficiency for food production, we are okay. We are about 375 million tons food production, but if we talk about in terms of sustainability, we are lagging. So to overcome these are the technologies we used to adopt in our agriculture sector. Now coming to the technology, how these technologies are useful in sustainable agriculture. Here these technologies plays a crucial role in improving the agriculture productivity. This is very important as far as sustainability. So here we can see that drones provide high resolution imaginary crop monitoring, early detection of pests and diseases. AI powered based systems assist the farmers, in making the informed decisions regarding crop selection, irrigation scheduling, market planning. Only thing we should aware, we should give the scientific importance to the farmers, that to ground level. This is very important. Still, because majority of the farmers are illiterate, we used to aware, we used to create the information, we used to create the knowledge. Then only farmers can realize. No doubt we are best in making the laboratory technology, so that whatever the technology we have developed, that has to transfer the farming community grassroots level with a low price cost technology. This is very important. Every farmer cannot afford high technology based practices in agriculture, because farmers are, they came from poor background, they used to especially they are majority of the small and poor farmers, marginal farmers. So we should develop the low budget technological applications, then only they can use the techniques in their field. Okay, so here we can see that renewable energy technologies, particularly solar power irrigated system, so it depends on reduces the dependence on fossil fuels and lower production cost. And apart from that, recent initiatives under India's digital agriculture mission and agri stock framework aim to strengthen the data driven agriculture and enhance the farmers, access to digital services. So in a nutshell, this technology thus is a critical tool for ensuring food security and sustainable resource management. So in this way, these technologies are very useful for making sustainable agriculture, sustainable, profitable agriculture. So to fulfill all those agriculture income, wish to come across some of the challenges, especially in agriculture. So to make it more agriculture in terms of business mode, make it more profitable manner. So right now there is a need for agriculture modernizations. So wish to make now market-led technology based agriculture, especially in the Indian condition. Okay, so here we can see that despite significant technological advancement, several challenges hinder the modern agriculture. We can see the examples, especially small and marginal farmers who constitute nearly about, in the Indian perspective, 86% of the Indian farmers often lack of financial resources to invest in advanced technologies. Okay, even digital divide, poor internet connectivity in the rural areas. So that makes low digital literacy limits technology adoptions. No doubt we are making for the benefit of the farmers, but in one side it is not reaching to the farmer level. Okay, so this is one thing. Second is poor infrastructure, including maybe storage facilities, cold chains, even also transportation also results in post-harvest losses. Especially you can take example of horticulture crops. They are very perishable in nature. Okay, so here we can see that it reduces the market efficiency. So apart from that, climate variability increases the production risk and discourages the investment in modern technologies. Furthermore, unequal access to technology often benefits the large scale farmers more than small farmers. So potentially widening income disparities we can see here. So here we can excessive use of fertilizer and chemical also contribute to soil degradation, and in one side we are excess utilization of water also. So there may be a chances of deficit of getting less yield also. So like that, these are the challenges were faced by the Indian perspective in the especially farming community. So wish to make agriculture in terms of modern agriculture. So this is very important aspect to achieve sustainable agriculture by the adoption or in the intervention of technological application. There are sustainable agriculture key policies measure, we can see that to ensure sustainable growth, food security and rural development. These are the major fourth pillar of the sustainability, especially sustainable growth, food security and rural development also. Here we can see that achieving sustainable agriculture requires comprehensive policy. First thing, priority, we should make a comprehensive policy that supports and institutional reforms also. So government should promote a farmer friendly policies that encourage innovations while protecting small holder interest. This is very important. No doubt large farmers, they can offer all the agriculture advanced practices in their agriculture. But if you talk about small and marginal farmers, they can't bear. So in that perspective, the government has to make policy in such a way that the small farmers also can adopt the different types of technology, the low budget technologies, so that they can increase their yield profitability obviously. Okay, here. So increased investment in agriculture research, extension services, training programs, and digital literacy initiatives can accelerate the technology in adoption. Affordable credit, crop insurance, and targeted subsidies are essential to reduce the financial barriers faced by the small and marginal farmers. So, strengthening rural infrastructure, including roads, warehouse, cold, storage facilities, and digital connectivity, can improve the market access to reduce the post-harvest losses. So, these are the challenging, aspects. No doubt, if you make policy also, so it has to reach the ground level. Then only every farmer can make it use of that policy and get the benefit. Okay, so this is one thing. So here in this perspective, policy should encourage the especially to know the organic farming, agroforestry, integrated nutrient management, water conservation practices, public-private partnership, and agri-tech startup. So these are the sectors we should create the awareness among the small and marginal farmers, so that we can improve, we can achieve the sustainability in agriculture sector. So lastly, in concludatory remarks, I would like to say that these technological interventions and also innovations is a powerful driver of sustainable development. So here emerging technologies like AI, drone technology, precision farming, organic farming, right? So renewable energy can significantly improve the productivity and resource use efficiency, because we should take, if at all you are talking about sustainability, think that we should preserve our resources for our future generation also. Okay, so here we can see that a balanced approach that combines the technological advancement with the farmer centric policies, institutional support, and environmental sustainability is essential at the present perspective. And also the future agriculture depends on creating inclusive, resilient, and technology enabled farming system that enhance the food security and increases the farmer's income. Okay, and women empowerment also, this is very important, because in agriculture sector, especially in the Indian context, 70 to 80% of the women farmers role makes a very important. So almost all agriculture activities are done by the women farmers, so we should encourage. So in one example I will give, for taking any beneficially schemes, beneficial programs, so we should incorporate women farmers also. So we should assume as a not a woman farmer, we should not assume that in a farmer wives. So we should as a woman farmers for taking any beneficial benefit from the government. So this is one I would like to say that. So here the future agriculture depends on creating inclusive, resilient, and technology-enabled the farming system that enhance the food security, increases the farmers' income, and support the sustainable development goals. So this is how the agriculture sustainability we can achieve by making best use of resource use. So in lastly concluding remarks, I can say that the successful transformation of agriculture requires collaboration among the governments, researcher, and agriculture companies and extension agencies. Last but farmers, because farmers plays an important role. Whatever the developed technology at the lab, that has to apply in the ground level in their field, then only that is the use of the technology to get better income from the agriculture sector. So though innovation, policy support and sustainable practices, agriculture can continue to ensure food security, economic growth and environmental sustainability to future generations. So this is how these technological interventions are very important at the present perspective to achieve sustainability in agriculture, especially Indian perspective. So with this, I will conclude my speech. So thank you for giving me an opportunity to share my ideas. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I'll just do one thing. I'll
Yeah.
just enable the chat box for all the participants. And if
Okay.
someone wants to drop any questions, they can drop down their questions in the box. If you'll want, I'll communicate them to you and then you can provide the answers accordingly.
Definitely, madam. Thank you so much,
Okay, sir.
especially Nayabat madam and Shivani madam and the team of entire Just Agriculture Group. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So we can just wait for 2 to 3 minutes. Till then, the participants can drop their questions right there.
Sure.
Okay, sir.
I think someone has kept on question what is the economic policy. Vermicompost. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, I guess there's one question.
Yeah, please, ma'am. What is the
What's the
question?
scope of agriculture economics, sir?
Yeah. Definitely, it's an interesting question. Maybe they have got a raise a question.
Hmm.
So, as an agriculture economist, we should think about market chains,
Hmm.
market
Hmm.
facility. So, we should frame such a policy so that farmers can, sell their products from directly production to at the end of the consumer. No chance of getting middlemen and intermediates. So that one we have still problem with the Indian context. We are lagging behind the market problem, so that we can
Hmm.
make the market chain so that every farmer can get benefit. No doubt, APEDA is there. There are certain government initiatives are there, but still it is not reaching to the ground level.
Yes,
So
sir.
we should make use of easiest policy so that farmers can make best use. And also MSP also is there. Still it is in the very conversion and also high level discussion oriented issues there, that MSP, because you should think, because India is having different agroclimatic zones. So based
Zones.
on that, we used to decide which crop is benefit. It's all of somewhat high level decisions that has to
Hmm.
take care.
Sir, you were talking about easiest agricultural policies. Sir,
Okay.
but the things are that farmers are unaware of various agriculture policies that are being intervened day by day. So, sir, what are your like suggestions on the same? How can we enlighten the farmers regarding the policies that are coming day to day and they can get benefit regarding that?
Exactly, your question is point to be noted, madam. I will try to my get it, because no doubt, madam, we are self sustain about technological advancement at the lab only,
Hmm.
but still it is not reaching to the ground level. Take example in drone technology, it's the best technology,
Hmm.
but for application at the ground level by the farmers it's somewhat costly,
Yes, sir.
because in the Indian condition majority of the farmers are small and marginal farmers, and
Hmm.
they are not aware about how to operate.
Yes,
So,
sir.
being a extension scientist, being a agriculture scientist, first we should create the confidence of the farmer that this technology will make difference. You take example across the India, still majority of the farmers are practicing
Hmm.
traditional methods of agriculture. So we should create, motivate, we should give the demonstration type of technology in their own field, so that farmers can realize that this technology is good. Why can't we try in our field?
Hmm.
That summary said that we should develop low cost budget technologies for the benefit of the farmers. Then only we can reach to the ground level to the farmers. Still it is still in the Indian context it is costly based technology we are developing, but not
Yes.
low budget technology we are not developing.
So you're basically talking about lab to land. Like, so
Yes,
the lab to
exactly.
land program came way back, like in 1979, I guess, something like that. And
Huh.
still, it is not like nicely practiced in India, I must say. So what are your like reviews regarding the same?
S- Only thing we only thing at the end I will suggest you, no doubt we are trying to change the farmer mindset. So this
Hmm.
technology we are trying to, as an extension, as an agriculture scientist, we are trying to change the mindset. Before whatever it may be the technology, first farmers has to learn the things. Farmer has to change the mindset. So because farmers still they believe old traditional practices, though you technology developed, but they are not aware. First we should
IT.
aware the things.
So what, like, sir, there are various subsidies which are provided by the government to the farmers through
Okay.
agricultural policies and various reforms.
Huh.
बट सर फार्मर को पता ही नहीं है कि सब्सिडी कैसे लेनी है. दे डोंट नो. The subsidy is taken by some other persons only because of the lack of extension work, I must say. So, sir, like with the agricultural policies, how can it be more nicely reformed and more nicely understood by farmers, that how can they take their subsidies and all in a good way?
So it's a good question. I will clear you. So first thing I will give a simple best example, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, right? So this is the central government of India. Almost all
Krishri
80%
Vikas
of the
Yojana.
80% of the farmers are getting direct benefit, direct transfer to beneficiary account. That is the best example, by getting the farmers directly to purchase their inputs and even crop failures, that is reaching. Part of some mistake has taken place from the state governments across the India, due to middleman commission, middle peoples, they are not getting, and it is not reaching to the farmers. So prior to that we should aware at the grassroots level. So who are the eligible for that, which type of crops. Take example, across the India, different states government they have made for horticulture crops subsidy schemes, but still
Hmm.
farmers are not aware about that. Take example, subsidies like sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation. There are not many agriculture subsidy schemes, horticulture subsidy schemes, but farmers are not aware about that. So farmers has to come forward. Take example, best example is FPOs, farmer producer organizations is there now. So
Yes, sir.
through using those platform, farmer can come forward. So government is ready to provide the facilities. So only thing, first priority, especially Indian for contest, we should change the farmer mindsets. Then only we'll go with the sustainability. Otherwise it's very difficulty for future
Yes, sir.
generations, because every day we are not sure that tomorrow what will happen for agriculture. Okay,
Hmm.
so these are the things, ma'am.
Uh, Nicely answered, sir. Sir, one question is that how will drone technologies reach to developing countries like Sierra Leone for early pest and disease warming system and their controls? I guess it's warning systems.
I'm not getting question. Can you tell me one more time?
सर, इनका बोलना है कि ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजीज जो डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज हैं, जैसे
हाँ,
कि हमारी ये कुछ सीरिया लियोन है, उसमें
हाँ.
हम अर्ली पेस्ट और डिजीजेस का जो वार्निंग सिस्टम है और वो कंट्रोल्स हैं, वो कैसे देख सकते हैं थ्रू ड्रोन टेक्नोलॉजी?
So we can analyze so in every equal interval, take example vegetative growth, even on maturity growth, we can see that. So if sudden climate change, so obviously there is a chances of pest and diseases.
Hmm.
So if you use those technology, that time we can predict that this much percentage of infestation has taken place and that aspect. So
Hmm.
based on that, results we can analyze. We should go with the application of maybe chemical fertilizer, so and so. So that is the thing.
Oh,
But it requires more scientific. We should analyze the things first practically. After that,
hmm.
we can take the decision how much percent of crops got pest attackants and disease attackant. That is the thing.
Yeah. Sir, like suppose if you were given the opportunity to implement one policy and
Okay.
one technological intervention immediately to strengthen sustainable agriculture in India,
Huh.
then sir, what would they be and why from your side?
One thing I will tell you, madam, it's a very practical question.
Yes.
Being an agriculture economist, I would like to say we have no doubt farmers are facing lot many challenges in one side, but the problem with our market. See, I will give an example, madam. Wearing whatever we wear the chappals, that is in AC room, and
Hmm.
whatever we are eating, it is in street side. That is a very
Hmm.
typical things we are seeing that.
Hmm.
So we have the shortage of market problem.
Hmm.
So I would like to research on that majorly, India, especially Indian perspective, market led problems. If you solve the market led issues, in the Indian context, obviously farmer can get good price for their commodities. I will give another example.
Hmm.
See, take example, take everybody will eat that haldiram moong dals. Okay,
Yes, sir.
right? I will give simple example.
Hmm.
So in one plate, I will keep normally prepared or processed whatever your mom will process. No, will that moong dal
Hmm.
homemade, and in
Hmm.
one side we'll make I will keep haldiram moong dal.
Hmm.
First one, which one we will choose, ma'am?
Haldiram, sir.
Haldiram. Why? Though one it is prepared by your mom, but obviously our mindset is haldiram is good. Okay,
Hmm.
only the summary behind is farmer not only they has to think only per, production aspect, they
Hmm.
has to go with a value added process.
Hmm.
Value added processing, that is a sector lagging behind in the Indian context. Take example, one maize corn. How much you will give for purchasing one ram maize corn? 10 rupees you will get.
Hmm.
Same thing if you boil it or make it processing, you used to pay 20 rupees. Again, another value addition step. If you make popcorns, you have to pay minimum of 50 rupees. And that too, if you sell in the big movie theater, you should pay minimum of 200 rupees. Got it? Same 10 rupees corn, obviously if you make value addition you will get more price, no? So
Hmm.
this is why the value addition is must and should at the Indian perspective especially. So I would like to, as an economist, so I will go with the market led problem with the value additions. So this
Okay.
is what lagging behind in the Indian context.
So basically, the farmer they only grow the product.
Ha.
Once they grow the product, there secondly the thing that comes in mind in input ho gaya, now they'll go for output.
Yes,
Output is
exactly.
to sell the produce.
Yes.
They don't like mind regarding the value addition and all. They
Ha.
need the companies who are doing their products value addition so that they can
Ex-
go for next crop raising.
Exactly. Ha.
So, sir, like your views in this market research, what would it be like? The market research would not go for farmers, na, then it would go for the retailers and dealers.
मैं एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. टेक एग्जांपल वुमन डेयरी फार्मर्स है. सो यूजुअली डेयरी फार्मर्स वुमन लोग देखते. सो मिल्क मिल्क बेचने का एक है डायरेक्ट प्रोसेसिंग है. मिल्क आप 1 किलो पनीर कितने में परचेज करते हैं मैडम? विल पे 400 रुपीज मिनिमम. मार्केट 1 kg ऑफ पनीर.
Hmm.
So why can't you try in your home itself? Paneer. For making paneer, what you will, how much you will take? Huh? So
Half
for
liter to 1 liter, 1 liter.
1 लीटर मिल्क, सो 1 लीटर मिल्क पनीर बनाने के लिए हम बाहर जाके 400 पे करते दुकान में से परचेज करने के लिए, वही पनीर आप खुद बना के बेचे तो विल गेट मोर प्रॉफिट ना. That won't take much time. Only thing which to certain precautionary measure is to take for making paneer. So farmer has to aware वैल्यू एडिशन का वैल्यू कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है. मिल्क से पनीर बनने का आपको पता है. सो वेरी फ्यू थिंग्स वी नीड. एक नींबू होना, सम प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर इज टू टेक केयर, दैट्स ऑल. वही हम लाखों है वो टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करने के लिए. और अननेसरी 400 रुपीज जाके शॉप में से लेते कि 400 रुपए किलो पनीर. सेम प्रोडक्ट तो तुम्हारे से ही सेल हो रहा है ना, वो हम नहीं कर रहे.
Yes, sir.
That is the thing. So that is what market problem is there. That is thing we should think about good policies so that every farmer can assess.
Yes, sir.
That is important.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I guess there are no more questions right here.
Yeah, madam. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the Just Agriculture team, and especially you and Shivani madam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, sir. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
we'll be ending with this session now.
Okay.
So thank you, sir, for such an insightful and thought-provoking session. Your rich experience and practical perspectives have provided valuable learning opportunities for all of us. And we sincerely appreciate the time and effort that you have devoted to sharing your knowledge with the AgroVision 2.0 participants. And we wish you continued success and good health in all your future endeavors, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes. As we come to the end of today's session, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed speakers for sharing their valuable knowledge, experiences, and insights with us. I would also like to thank all the participants for your enthusiastic presence, active participation, and continuous support throughout this remarkable learning journey. Your curiosity and commitment have truly made AgroVision 2.0 a meaningful and successful program. To- Today marks the completion of day 14, and with that, we are just one step away from the grand culmination of this wonderful initiative. Tomorrow, we will gather once again for day 15, the final day of AgroVision 2.0, to celebrate our collective learning, achievements, and the spirit of innovation that has brought all of us together. Until then, stay inspired, stay connected, and keep learning. The future of agriculture lies not only in the fields we cultivate but in the knowledge we nurture. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to meeting you all tomorrow for the grand finale of AgroVision 2.0. Learn today, lead tomorrow, transform agriculture forever. Thank you so much.